hello everyone. Welcome to one more fresh episode of our this special show, Life in Progress: The Personal and Professional Stories. And the person who is sitting in front of you, his name is Saran, and his full name only he will tell you because I feel little hesitant in pronouncing that full name of his. Yes, but if I talk about Saran and about today's episode, he is basically an electronics and communication engineer, but he beautifully weaves in the concept of engineering and the human psychology to help students, to parents to address their issues. He is a seasoned life coach and he helped so many students, be it a technical issue, be it a psychological issue, be it an emotional issues. And yes, he helped lots of parents as well. And our today's topic is so well versed for all the parents because we would be talking about the need of the our topic that is all about conscious parenting. Many parents struggle with that. Even I struggle many times with my daughter when it comes to parenting. So, Saran, first of all, thank you so much that you got agreed to discuss on this very special topic, which is so important for all of us. Welcome to this show. And
Thank
before
you.
we start and we go dive deep into our discussion, I would just request you to give your brief introduction to everyone.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the invite, actually. And it's really great that my name is Sharon and my father's name is Alagarswamy. Okay, which is an God's name. That's why I always carry my father's name behind me wherever I go.
Wonderful.
And yes, as you were telling, I've done my engineering actually. So I was always been so much into human mind and psychology and why people behave in some way where we can't able to understand them. Imagine studying an engineering, it's all about knowing about the technology and what is inside a system. And learning about psychology is something like knowing about your own itself, like our thoughts, our process, and everything. So I did my education in diploma as well as I'm doing my MSc in clinical psychology and psychotherapy, where to know more about and dive deeper. And my area of expertise where I need to work on because it is parenting. Why is because I was working as a teacher. I used to participate in so many parents meeting. I can see parents will complain about students and student will complain about the parent. And it was like a never balancing system. So I really went deep into that parenting style and what causes the students to go against the parent and what causes a parent to go against their own children. Then I came to know that there are so many left communication places, left gaps in between a
Hmm.
parent and a student, where the generational gap, technological gap, spiritual gap, financial gap, and the educational gap, and which we couldn't able to imagine. There are so many things why a student is behaving in a way and why a parent is behaving in a way. So I thought rather than changing a student is easy because they are still fragile. We can mold them in a very good way. But to do in that way, we need to mold the parents whom these students are supporting and believing them in a very great way because parents are the first teachers, right? And they learn everything from the parents. And nowadays, you can say very clearly that parents are taking the parenting in a very light way. They are thinking that I'll put the money, I'll put to the school, that is enough. Or I'll pay for the tuition, that is enough. I'll pay for the cab, that is enough. No, that is not what parenting is. That is like funding and startup or something. But here, parenting goes with emotion, the physical touch, the psychological connection which you have with the kid. That's all where we have felt in our childhood, right? Before these technologies used to jump in. I
Hmm.
can now see most of the parent are not, father is not available during the pregnancy time for a woman. They are undergoing not only the solo parenting, solo pregnancy. Even one WhatsApp message, you got a boy. That is what being message delivered to a father who's in Dubai or in Canada who
Hmm.
can't get the right plane ticket at the right time. So
Hmm.
that's why I need to concentrate on parenting so that it can create a better community in the future.
Wonderful, Saran, wonderful.
Thank you.
And I believe whatever components you have just narrated now, this all is a part of conscious parenting, which the
Yes,
topic which we are going to discuss now.
absolutely.
And very beautifully, you have, I'm telling from the beginning as well, that you are so expert in weaving the threads together. So
Yes,
that's a beautiful aspect that you have connected, that why there is a need for conscious parenting.
yes,
And two important words which you mentioned when it comes to parenting, that's the spiritual connect and the emotional connect.
yes,
Yes, we should not take it like just as a financial startup. That's a beautiful thing which you have quoted. But
yes,
one important thing which has come to my mind after this introduction, that we want, that all the parents want, they want to cultivate the self awareness
Mhm.
and the mindfulness
Yes,
to become the conscious parents. Everyone wants, but probably because it's not a parents bashing discussion which we are doing today,
I
probably
understand.
we can understand that they want to do, but
Mm.
they are not able to understand that how they have to do.
Yes.
So, can you just throw some light, or can you just give your perspective that how the parents can cultivate this mindfulness and self awareness when it comes to parenting,
Mhm.
and how they can be more conscious in their parenting?
That's a wonderful question to be discussed in this 21st century to be true. Imagine how we learn parenting from our parents, right? How to deal and how not to deal also. Like when we were children, we really know like this is not how I'm going to treat my children in the future. I'll be a best parent, best mother, best father. But what happens when they become a parent? They too shout, they too beat, and they too do all the dramas, emotional dramas whenever they're becoming a parent. Okay. And most of the time, nowadays, when you take our parents, they were all in a more like a together family. Yes, where grandma, grandfather, nana, nani, everyone is there to take care. And the financial burdens are very, very less. And the
Hmm.
inclusion of technology is also very, very less.
Hmm.
Maximum, the father will travel and the mother will be always staying with the kid to take care. And we always had that physical connection with the mother and father. But now what happens is we have been virtually moved away. Not only the nuclear family, we have become more into a micro nuclear family. Nuclear family is something where only the father, mother, two kids are staying. Micro nuclear is something, four rooms, four different peoples. Yes. And imagine before 30 to 40 years, we had only one television, one channel, and that remote will be with the father. But now what happens? Four different Netflix account, four different TVs in the rooms, four different dish antennas, and we have been isolated from the moral of the family itself. And if you want to talk about the conscious parenting, first of all, parenting is different in 70s, different in 90s, and different in 2Ks.
Okay.
Imagine being a parent now is one of the very stressful jobs, and people take that as a task or a job because both are working to sustain an environment in any metropolitan cities. Both should work, and both are having like 9 to 5 or 11 to evening 9 or something work of something.
I believe we can call it that is something which is unavoidable, but on
Yes,
top of that, we need to cope up with that.
yes, we can't able to avoid it because the financial burdens are true. The flat rates are high. The school fees are high. They should work, but at the same time, for what they are working for. They say, I'm working for my children. But at the end of the day, when they come back to home, they can't able to spend time with them. I can tell you, people are taking the home as the place where they can rest and use their mobile phones, see some TV. But that is the moment where you can spend some time with your children, where physical touch, where you see their eyes, not asking about what happened in school, rather than telling like how the day, how your day went and how they were feeling in the home, have they eaten or where they like the lunch a lot. So that are all some of the steps where you can take it. And one more thing which I want to precisely emphasize here is the inclusion of father in parenting. Most of the time, it is meant that parenting is only for the mother. Yes, that is our typical mindset, right? And father is a breadwinner or who gives the money alone. No. Whenever it comes to parenting, the role of the father is more crucial than the role of the mother. Mother gives the emotional support, all kind of connections, teaches all the world living things and etc. But the father can give them the confident and kind of motivation which walks them in the future also. And
Hmm.
most of the time, you should share your parenting style. If you're
What
shouting,
does it mean? What you are telling, share your parenting style.
yes,
Are there
sharing.
different parenting styles?
Yes, there are different parenting styles. Like as I said, like monotonously only the mother is taking care of the parenting. Father
Yes.
will never come into well parents meeting. Always the mother goes. Any birthday celebration, only the mother goes with the kid. Then what happens to the father? Surely the kid will be expecting, right? I want my mother and father to be with me. Don't do that. Try to be with your children as much as possible and try to engage in every one of their accomplishments, even it may be a sports day, even it may be a small apartment celebrations or something. Okay. And where sometimes the parent will be overcautious, they'll be taking all the parenting techniques, they'll give a small timetable, you're going to follow this, that and that. That micro parenting will not also work. And first of all, parenting, we thought the moment we become parents, we think that we have a crown, we have a work to do, we have a job to do. No. Nowadays, kids are expecting not a kind of monk kind of parents. They want a friendly kinds of parents. They need to teach shoulder to shoulder. They need to walk together in their path. So that is very, very important, where the father or the mother should have a consciousness that kid already knows it. The only role is to support them from the back end, which most of the parents are really doing good. But there are some hiccups here and there, which is really making the environment a little bit clumsy to be true.
Saran, that's a very good point which you are bringing on to this discussion. And here comes one more important thing. When you are telling that both the parents, means
Yeah,
mother and father, they have to come on to the board at the same time with the
yeah,
child
mm,
whenever there is possibility.
yes,
Means, first of all, they both should be together, and this togetherness should be with the child.
yes,
That's the main aspect.
yes,
But one more important point which you are touching, that the moment the parents are seeing the face of child, they are able to understand that what has happened with them. So
mm,
something it is related to what I can understand, the emotional intelligence.
yes,
That is one of the very important notion which
mm,
every parent want to understand and every parent must learn. That's what I feel.
I
So,
completely agree.
how do you feel that how do you take this particular topic,
Mm,
that if any parent
mm,
want to understand first of all that what is emotional intelligence and how this small notion of emotional intelligence
mm,
is important when it comes to conscious parenting? Can they learn it? Can
yes.
they imbibe all the things? And how they can walk to that path and why it is important for them?
The word emotional intelligence has different perspectives. First of all, when we are going for a job,
Yeah.
emotional intelligence is something how we deal with the office culture and etc. How we emotionally connect with them and etc.
Hmm.
But when it comes to parenting, right, the knowing what to talk in front of the kid and what not to talk in front of the kid is the best emotional intelligence which I should tell.
Hmm.
Because as I said, no, the parents are the first teachers. They learn everything from the parent, the walking style, the hairstyling, the dressing sense, or
Hmm.
how they drive the car. Everything has been learned from the parent, particularly. So, when imagine a parent is fighting in front of a kid because they don't have that kind of emotional intelligence, that this fight is going to cause a small trauma in the mind of a child because they are seeing a fight between their most lovable two peoples. So they'll think that, okay, all men are like this, all women are like this, marriage will end up like this. Okay. And imagine if they're going into cursing some words, putting some unwanted things in front of the kid. The kid's mind is more like a recorder. They record each and everything. You put a pattern, phone pattern one time in front of them, they learn it. You skip a ad in front of them in the YouTube, they learn it. They learn very quickly because they are so much of observant like a sponge. Okay.
Hmm.
So this emotional intelligence comes, what kind of words you use it to your kid. You will be having a very bad day in your office, but you can't use those words to the kids who's very waiting for your time in the home. Most of the time we used to do it, right? Because of the heavy traffic, hard day, long day. We used to come home. When we relax, when our kid is something shouting and running, what we do? Hey, be quiet. That's all. The entire vibe of a child who's waiting for the father or mother from the morning or the evening is gone away. That is the emotional intelligence. When to shout, when not to shout. And most of the time, this emotional intelligence comes with the parenting. If they are shouting, both parents will shout at the same time. There'll be no one to take care of themselves. So one should be a good cop, one should be a bad cop. So they should exchange that roles. All the time, the father should not be a bad cop. Usually, that's what happens. Right? Hey, if you're not eating this, I'll tell to Papa. Yeah, then
Hmm.
what happens? Oh, Papa is a very scary person. That's not true, actually. Okay, but Papa, the father should also maintain that, right? So what he should, hey, you're going to eat it. If you're troubling your mother, that's all you're done. So father becomes very away from the emotional touch of the that children. But
And
what
Sharon,
happens?
sometimes in
Yeah.
some families, what happens? The mother also becomes a bad cop.
Yes, yes. They usually switch between the roles. That kind of
Yes.
emotional intelligence should happen. Like who's going to have that kind of bad cop and good cop? What is the words? What the conversation should happen? Most of the time, the parents are not having a healthy conversation in front of the children. They are gossiping, they're complaining, they are shouting in front of the kids, they are fighting. This kind of things will create a miniature trauma, mini traumas in their mind, Whereas when they become big peoples, right, it will be hugely affecting them. And in my suggestion, start talking the positive things. Talk about your financial things, how you manage the financial things, what is a family is, and how to build a family. All kind of things will give okay, oh, this is what my father said. This is what my mother used to live like. That will help the student to be emotionally intelligent with the parenting.
True. And one more point, Saran, I would just like to add on to your
Mhm.
explanation. When you are telling that the children are learning from their parents.
Yeah.
So when I am just discussing with my clients, and if they are parents and for whatever issues they are, so I use a specific thing which we learn in the NLP modeling. And very right thing you said, that the children just model our behavior. That
Yeah.
is all unconscious modeling. Even we are not asking the kid to adopt that behavior, but just due to that unconscious modeling, the child is just picking up that specific behavior.
True.
For example, if I am telling to my child that exercising is very good thing, but
Mm.
what I am doing, I'm just sitting on the couch and I'm not doing anything. So
Yes.
they
Yes.
are bound to pick up that couch behavior,
True.
not what I'm telling. So that unconscious modeling happens a lot in the children, and definitely before the age of 7 to 9 years. They are just like sponge, which you are telling. They
Yeah.
just absorb each and
Love
everything because
everything.
their rejection filters are not active. So they are
True.
not able to reject anything.
Yes.
Now I want to discuss with you one more aspect which is related to modeling,
Hmm.
that usually it happens that I want that my child should be like that.
Hmm.
This is the specific thing. If
Yeah.
I could not do this particular thing in my childhood, so my child should live my dream. My
Yeah.
child should become like that. My
Hmm.
child should be a role model. Means I want to see myself in my child.
Yeah.
That's a very big and important thing which every parent want. I could not become a doctor, so my child
I,
should become a doctor.
yes.
These are the things. But we know that modeling is a very important thing.
Hmm.
So how can parents understand this particular thing, which is the unconscious modeling, and
Hmm.
how they can bring that specific change in their behavior,
Hmm.
because they need to understand that the child is going to model that.
True.
So can you just elaborate this term when it comes to modeling behavior, so
Mm.
that the parents who all are listening and watching this episode, they can understand that how the child is picking up the things from them.
True. Yeah. So that is a very important thing where, as a parent, they should be very, very careful of. As we said, the modeling is something. As I said, they are going to grab everything what you're going to do.
Yeah.
Okay, but humans are humans. We used to get emotions outside, emotional outburst or something. But you should be, as we said clearly, the emotional intelligence, the intelligence of having when to shout, not to shout, or when to talk something, when not to talk something, or what is the word which you're using. Most of the time, the children will grab the words which you have been used and the modulation.
Hmm.
Like, hey, come here is different. Hey, come here, that is different. Okay, so that kind of consciousness is very, very important. And you said, most of the time they'll be catching unconsciously from our behavior because they have the copy of the parent DNA, right? It's
Yeah.
already imprinted inside. The only thing is either you're going to trigger that skill or trigger that attitude, or you're going to change that attitude is completely on the thing. And coming to the next most important thing, like pushing the boundaries of whatever they want to do to the children. Okay,
Hmm.
the most what to say, the uncommon thing where a parent can think is they own the child. That is not true. They don't own the child because they came because of the parent. It doesn't mean that they own. There is some kind of agreement from the nature that this children is yours. No, we are the tool.
Authoritative feeling.
Yes, yeah, the parent is just a tool where a life can come into this world. When you have a ownership, it becomes ego, right?
So,
When you don't have that ego ship, when you are becoming to the nature, there's no ego in the nature.
hmm.
Okay, no tree is shouting with the other tree. Yes, no tree is cutting the other tree. Only humans have ego. Okay,
Yeah.
and some animals take the egos also. So you should take that ego from your child. Remove that. Imagine you have here an ID card that in your child that it is stated that your child, your property, your everything. Remove that ID card from them. They are the individual soul who came to this world by using your body as a tool. That's all. A tool can never take ownership of a creation, right? Yes,
Wonderful.
a tool is creating a car. That doesn't mean that the car is being owned by the tool. First, imagine consciously have in mind that you are a tool who is going to help that soul to live in this world, maybe like 20 to 25 years to explore it. After that, the child is going to explore in its own. Okay, if you have the, it is very, very hard to do it because particularly Indian parents, right? If you take Western country, after 15 years or 18 years, you can go wherever you want. If you're going to live in my house, you're going to pay rent. Yes, you can have your girlfriend, you can have married, you can invite me, and only then I'll know whom you are going to get married. But what happens in India? The first day, the moment they are going to born, my child, my beta, my daughter. Yes, even though they got married, okay, after 30 years, even they got a kid. What they say? My child, I will take care of everything. No matter what, you come here, I'll take care. That kind of ownership is okay when it has been felt in the opposite side also. Like my mother, let them also take care of my decisions and my life. What happens when they are not thinking like that? My
True.
life, my rules. Nowadays, the kids are like that, right? They want their own kind of impressions in this world, not to follow the footsteps of the father or the mother. Even though the father has created a huge company or something, they want to have their own kind of path. Even maybe like playing a guitar or being a car model or something, they want to have their own kind of impressions. Because now the population is heavy, the competition is heavy, the uniqueness should be shown so that they can be separate from the crowd. So stop thinking that you're not the owners. You're just a tool who is helping a soul who's to live in this world will
True.
mentally detached from you, okay, so that you can be more emotionally connected with them, not with the possessive kind of one.
That's a beautiful concept which you have explained, Saran, just now, that we should let the child have the independent identity
Yes.
because then only the child will, and let it leave to the child what they
Yes.
want to do. They want to be come to us. Means it happens that the more we try to hold on something, the things
Yes.
just goes away from us.
It's
And the
going to
more
hurt
we
us.
release anything, it automatically comes to it. It's a nature's law.
Yes.
But yes, we have discussed a lot that what parents has to do for the child.
Yeah.
But one more scenario, probably this is the other side of the coin, which I have seen a lot.
Mm-hmm.
There are a set of parents as well. Once they are so much engaged in the parenting,
Mm-hmm.
then they start feeling that, oh, I have done my 9 to 5 job.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm going back to home, my whole time is dedicated to my child. And
Mm-hmm.
what happens in that scenario? The parents usually forget that they also exist here. They have to live the life for themselves as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that is definitely a different side of the parenting, wherein the parent has to take care of themselves as well. I
Yeah.
call it a self care concept.
True.
But what happens? Usually the parents are having guilty. No, no, I cannot go to any party after my 9 to 5 job because then I have a guilt feeling that I'm not giving enough time to my child. So
That's
how do you see, first of all, this specific concept when it comes to parenting? Because this is also a very important aspect.
that's
And
very
how
important.
can parents come out of this guilt emotion
Mm.
that I'm not doing any crime if I'm spending some time for myself? I deserve it.
Yeah.
So how do you see the entire thing?
That's a mentality which has been happening now, particularly after the COVID, most of the time, the life of a woman changes a lot after marriage.
Yeah.
Before marriage, life is different for a woman. Why I'm not talking about men? Because I feel like the life of a man is not much changing before and after a marriage because they live in their own home. Only the woman is getting changed from their locality, and they are undergoing lots of mental differences and psychological differences with the physical differences also. Men stays men. Only they are becoming from a bachelor to a married guy to a father. So
Agree.
whoever is saying that, don't blast me like I'm talking against men because when you compare a men and women, the woman undergoes a lot of changes which is not yet been talked at. Okay, coming to the woman's part, yes, they'll be feeling stress, they'll be feeling occupational stress, they'll be feeling that they are not, they are left out of the culture where their unmarried friends are having fun, or the married friends who's already been, the children are grown up, they're also having fun. They have been stuck in between. Okay.
Yeah.
Already the 95 work is energy sucking. Okay. Everyone is going to have a very tough day in their works. Now, what happens is Indian mothers have kind of possessiveness. I'll do anything for my kid.
Yeah.
That's a mentality, right? If you want to move a mountain for my kid, I'll move it, no issues. If you want to catch a snake for my kid, I'll catch it if it's going to hurt him. That is the
Yes.
mindset of a parent, okay? Particularly the mother. Okay, now what happens is it will be okay for a short run. Imagine you have a kid now, okay, now, which is 1 month or 2 months. You'll be very happy to have that kid because you have been waiting for 10 months to hold him in your hand. Okay, the happiness, the hormones will be high, everything will be very new to you. But what happens after 6 months or 7 months when you're always in home, yes, breastfeeding the kid, not getting the enough sleep, and the most stressful thing for a pregnant woman is not feeding or taking care of the baby. While it's happening, the father will be snoring and sleeping, right? Or they'll be having, if the father and that will be even more, that there's no one to support them, where the grandmothers will be telling, you give a kid, I'll take care. But now they're not even supporting them. Yes, they have given a career break also, which is a more stressful for a working woman. Okay. Now this will be okay
And
for
I
us.
believe after listening this conversation, most of the father will going to write a comment on this conversation.
Yes, I'm very open to it. I'll be so happy to engage with that because yes, we can do a separate podcast what happens to women. But why I'm telling you this parenting affects a woman a lot. Okay. So when it comes to this, you can run for a very short run with this kind of enthusiasm and kind of happiness. But what happens after 6 to 7 months after or 1 year? When you can't able to have your normal life, that is where the real pressure comes in. Here, I should ask the families who's around them, like a grandmother or a grandfather or a husband, who should also take part in that. I'll take care of the baby now, today. You go out, have a day out for you. Go to a spa or go to a salon, have a haircut. Why you're looking like this? Have a nail cut or have a nail paint or something. This kind of small thing, even a small thing, or giving a small person gift or something, or allowing them to go for a birthday party or something without the kid. Because now what happens is the moment the mother is having the kid, it has been super attached with the mother only. Wherever the mother goes, the baby follows. It's okay, the baby needs the mother, but at the same time, mother is also a human, right? They do have ups and downs, stress, depressions, and etc. So when it depends on the families which is around them, how they support them. Okay, now no, nowadays, there's a nanny concept, yes, where they put it in the daycare or something, but most of the parents are not going for it because they want the kid to be with them. No matter what, I'll take care. But deep down, every mother is having so much pain and stress in their mind that no one is there to take care. No one is to share the pain. I can say I'll share the pain, but I can't able to do it. Okay, I can just say my words. So the family people who surround the new mothers or parenting style should be take the opportunity that I'll take care. You have your day. If you want to go for 2 days, I'll take care of the children who's grown enough to get up and go to the school. I'll take care. But most of the time, this is not what happening is. Fathers will be like, no, 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 no. 2 days, I can't able to take care. Okay, then ask your mother to come, or I'll ask my mother to come. Okay, because they're scared of parenting. Actually, they don't know where the socks is. They don't know which book to keep in. They don't know what is the different box color for this child.
Which
Yes,
test is going to be on Monday?
yes, because that's why I told they are detached from the parenting. When you have been mingled, you know everything. What socks, what uniform, what subject, which bus number, everything. Okay, that is where the parents should come in. Father should come inside to help the mother here.
Yes, beautiful, Sarah, no
Yeah.
doubt. And I believe lots of mothers are going to give you a lots of compliments for this, taking this.
I think
And
I'll get a
yes,
more
all
positive comment from mothers. I think so.
and all the moms, stop feeling guilty if you are spending
Yes.
some time for yourself. You have the right because you are giving enough time for the parenting to your child. So stop
Yes.
feeling guilty that if you
Yes.
are spending any time for yourself. That's the important thing which Saran is saying. And I also endorse that. Yes. But Saran, now, if we are moving little ahead in the age group of the child, for
Hmm.
example, when the child comes to a teenage, which is a very specific age,
Very, very one.
and
Yeah.
then the parent has to handle the specific behavioral issues in the child.
Hmm.
So, because conscious parenting is not about the early ages of child, being a mother, and that initial few months or initial few years. The
Hmm.
parenting is, I believe, it's an everlasting stage.
True.
So what about those parents who are moving to the situation when their kids are raising up? and they are entering into the teenage, or they are into the teenage, for example, or they are entering to the adolescence age,
Yes.
then there are a lot of behavioral issues.
Yes.
You deal a lot with the parents.
True.
So what specific advice you would like to give to those set of parents who are struggling with lot of finkiness, lot of irritating behaviors of their child? How to
Tantrums,
handle that kind of
outings.
scenario?
Yes, that is a very one of the nightmare situation for any parent. That when they realize that your kid has grown away from your hands, he's not a kid anymore. He's a boy or a girl or a woman or kind of thing. Because as I said, they are very possessed with their children, right? So that kind of feeling is very taunting for a parent, actually. Okay, but what I say is, when they were a kid, he's here, you are here. You tell whatever, they'll be listening. But once they become the adolescents or when they're going for the teenage age, become friends like this. Okay, so you turn your back. Okay, have your shoulders with them, put their hands on them. Okay, know their culture. Okay, because culture generation gap is one of the biggest thing here.
Yes.
Okay, all our parents is coming from the 90s, more like 80s for us, or 70s. Now they're coming from 90s or something. Okay, and you should also understand, the more you control this kind of teenagers, the hormone outbursts will allow them to go out and explore.
Yeah.
Okay. And I usually say this to my parents who are struggling to maintain the relationship with the children, always go friend with them. Okay. Because we share a lot more to our friends than our parent.
Mm.
Our friends know the top secrets. Even our relatives don't know, right? Because we trust them. They know that they are our friends. They will not put it in any kind of situations. So you stop being a parent. Become their best friends where they can share it.
Sharan, before
Yes.
you elaborate this answer,
Yeah.
when you are telling become their friends,
Yeah.
so again, can you just elaborate that what would be the boundary of this friendship? Because
Mhm.
some parents complain that what should be the extent to which we should become a friend?
Yeah, I understand. See, being a parent friendly is one of the very toughest stuff. It is like getting another role, but the same salary.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is also a very toughest job here. What I say is, instead of controlling them, okay, friends usually don't control. What they use is just explore. If you want to do something, do it. I'll be here. Okay, if you want to drive a car, yes, I'll be there to teach you, but I'll not able to micromanage you. Don't ever micromanage. That distinguishes a parent and a friendly parent. Never always call them. The moment they step out, have you boarded the train? Have you boarded? Are you coming back? Have you got your lunch? No, they are the teenagers who can take care of themselves. If you're not allowing them to take care of themselves, then how they are going to face the big world which is kept in front of them? Okay, I know the urge of parent is my beta is good, if my son is having a good lunch or something, the urge will be there, but you should put it in a very friendly way.
Mm.
Okay, but in this, how you can't confront them. Okay, have you done this? I asked you to do it, right? No, you go in a friendly way. Hey, come on, man, I asked you to do it. What happened? Yes, can we do it together? Yes, can we do it? Yes, I asked you to change your hair, right? Come, let's go to a salon together. Let's have a haircut together. Let's see how we can modulate it. What happens in the previous version in a strict parenting? No, you're not. You have been. You are stopped from the playing PlayStation. You're stopped from using the phone for next 2 days as a punishment. Don't ever punish kids. Okay, that is all older version. Now it will not work. The moment you start punishing, they'll start seeing you as a opposite person. The distance between you and them will get expanded. So there's a
Mm.
lot of gap in between. So if you want, there should be no gap, become friends. Okay. Start keep a boundary, like till this moment, I'll help you. You can ask me whatever you want. Okay. And that is one point where the father's step in should come in. Okay. Fathers can be more friendly. Okay, because mothers can be friendly also, but they have been emotionally connected with the kids. They always take decisions emotionally, whatever is good, which makes my kid happy. But if you take a father, they'll take decisions on the point of like, which is very better for the current situation. If you want to
Mm.
go, go. I'll just explore. No, no, don't worry about it. But the mother, right? No, 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 no. You can go wherever you want, but come back to home before 8.
Yeah.
That's what the mother's opinion will be. So that is why this kind of friendly parenting is nowadays, it's very, very, how to say, the culture is getting booming actually.
True, true. And Saran, one more aspect I see when it comes to conscious parenting, because I have dealt with few of such kind of cases,
Mm.
that probably I ended up making certain mistakes
Mhm.
when my child is growing to certain age.
Yeah.
I could not give enough time. I could not pay enough attention.
Mm.
Whatever were the reasons, that's a different thing. Probably they were not understanding the situations, not understanding the scenarios.
Yeah.
But what happens now? The child is also used to of getting less time with the parents,
Mm.
of getting less affection with the parents. Now
Mm.
suddenly the parents got up. They got a wake up call from inside that
Yeah.
I have to do everything from my child because I have done few mistakes in the past. Now
True.
child is not ready to accept you because
Yes.
the child is doing or living that kind of life for last 6 years, 7 years, or maybe 10 years.
Mm.
So how the parents can come back to that situation, how the child will be able to adapt to that, more friendliness, more emotional connect, more time with the parents. And
Mm.
parents wants to rectify their mistakes what they have done in the past, they have realized that.
Yeah.
So how they can now do a kind of come back into the child's life again, because I have seen that's also a very difficult situation with many parents.
I understand. So, what happens? I can elaborate your scenario. A parent is very busy with the business making and money making. A child is also growing into a teenager. Suddenly, the
Yes.
business is run autonomously. So now the shift is coming to the child. Okay,
Yes.
and imagine a child is like a is in a room. Okay, this 10 years, there's a big wall is being built around him, where
Hmm.
he allows only his very close friends, close peoples like grandmother who were been always there whenever he wanted or something. Okay. What happens after this 10 years, right? These parents bring a JCB and try to get inside that wall and become friends. That will not work. Okay. You should go stone by stone. You should keep nagging very slowly, not in a emotionally draining way or in a mentally draining way. Okay. First of all, you should apologize for not being there for 10 years or whatever the years it is. Because apologizing will melt the wall very faster than shouting or confronting or going and hitting harder. You should acknowledge that what the wrong you have. Not it's not wrong or something. It is essential for the family, but you should acknowledge that. Come here. I have been working very hard for this 10 years to build this kind of system. Now I'm okay with that. Can we spend some time together? So now what happens? Instead of 100 steps, you just want to travel 30 to 40 steps. Okay. Give them that space. Okay. Father's here in home. Now we have some time. Okay. Immediately what happens the moment the father is getting retired from the next day? Come on, better, we'll go for a walking, we'll go for a jogging, we'll go for a movie. That won't work because this kid or a teenager will have their own plan, own friends, and etc.
Actually,
They try
yes.
to fit in that world is very, very hard. Okay,
Hmm.
this vibe will not get matched. Now, what happens? This father or a mother who has been tirelessly working should start matching their vibe, not immediately, but very slowly. Okay, and also you can't expect a complete 100% synchronization here. Instead, if you had 5% in the front, now you can have some 50 to 60%, which is very, very good. I can say if they have that kind of rapport. Okay, don't confront and hit the wall very harder. Try to accept that happened is happened. Now we have next 30 to 40 years together. Let's spend it together. Then that will melt the wall very easily than
Hmm.
confronting it. So the kid will also understand, the teenager, okay, it's happened is happened. We too haven't had any experience with our father. Let's go to a trip. Let's go to a bike ride. So that is slowly, baby step will help whenever you are facing this kind of situations.
Wonderful. And one very important aspect you have brought it together, that asking for apology,
Mm.
maybe not in a form of saying that I am sorry, but showing a gesture of apology. Maybe the non-verbal gestures would also work in that scenario if
Yes,
the parents are not able to say in a verbal manner. So
true.
certain small non-verbal nuggets or non-verbal gestures will also start, because
Ye-
ultimately that other side on the wall is a child.
Yes.
So definitely they understand those kind of feeling, those kind of emotional connect. But
Even
yes,
though they have become a teenager, they are still a child waiting for their mother or father to come back to them and have that kind of love and affection. So they are still a child, as you said.
yes, but true what you are telling, not in an authoritative manner,
Yeah.
but yes, in some apologetic manner, that yes, whatever I have done, that was a need of the hour, but yes, now I'm ready to give my
Yes.
whole support and my whole emotional connect to you.
Yes.
So I believe that's a very important point you are bringing, that forgiveness and the gratitude. These two
This was it.
concepts goes both hand in hand
Yes.
from every side.
True.
I know that's a very important discussion we are doing, and that's an endless topic.
Yeah.
Today, we are doing little from the mother's perspective. So, yes, we have to do it from the father's perspective as
True.
well.
We'll be doing it.
Definitely. Otherwise,
Yeah.
the fathers will feel that it's a father's bashing class now.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm coming to the end of my questions, though
Mm.
they are endless, but still,
Yeah.
as a protocol of this discussion, that how do you see that concept of conscious parenting
Mhm.
5 years or 10 years down the line?
Mhm.
Do you feel that this specific notion, when it comes to conscious parenting, it will not only help the parents and child to bring a strong bond together,
True.
rather it will help on a broader perspective? If
Mhm.
I see the society as a whole, the culture as a whole, the country as a whole, and maybe the entire planet as a whole, so do you feel that this small notion, which is a conscious parenting, can
Mm.
help us building the entire society in a different manner altogether?
That's a
That's
wonderful
no doubt I'm
question.
asking a difficult thing now.
Yes, yes. That's a wonderful question to wind up this conscious parenting. As I said, as yoga, as meditation, as stress management, time management, how the webinars and how these things are taken care, right? Like that, parenting is also going to be a skill, which is going to be a very important skill for who is going to enter into a marriage or something. Okay, like they have this kind of bank balance, this kind of thing, right? So parenting is one of the very important certification, which I could tell is very, very important to get into marriage. Because why is that? Most of the time, okay, the divorce rates, if you take, it's getting booming in India. You know why? Because and also the single parent method is also getting high because of this divorce. Okay, the
Yeah.
child is also left with the single parent. That is affecting the entire, how to say, the pillars of the society itself. Okay, because India has a very huge diversity of family bonding, a long-term marital relationships, and they die with them. That is what these relationships and were now. But now, even a 1 month married or a 1 year married, 10-year married with the two kids are getting divorced. Okay, because that kind of divorces is going to affect not the mother in some way, it is going to affect, but the children, right? It is affecting them in a very huge way. Okay. And it's not only affecting them mentally, it's also affecting them psychologically and environmentally also because they need to face a society as a single mother's child. Okay, now it's okay. It's a very common thing to do. I'm not against that divorce because ending a bad relationship is good. But
Yeah.
always imagine when we are stepping into a marriage, it's like a long-term commitment. Okay. Until and unless you're not ready to have a kid, okay, don't go for it. Most of the time we're going with the societal pressure, right? You should have a kid. It's been 1 year, 2 year. Come on, I need two. Then they have a kid, but they can't able to manage their financial burdens. They can't able to manage their work life. And here the kid is suffering without a mother or a father's affection. See,
Mm.
I'll be very even more precise. The first 5 years, the physical touch, how much you give to a child is very, very important to boost the confidence of a child in the 15th or 16th year of the child. So please be very careful of how you deal with this children. If you can't able to be with them, if you can't able to afford to be with them, don't go into parenting itself. Okay, better be bachelors, have fun. Then whenever you're ready, both are ready. Most of the time, what happens? A father will be ready, mother will not be ready mentally,
Mm.
but they go into parenting. That gives a lot of stress to a child. That is why we can see so many children now are very, very easily triggered. They are showing tantrum. They are shouting like anything because the stress comes from the parents actually. Because they are all very pure as, what to say, a pure soul, right? How they are getting this much of stress? Because of the situations which they are getting from the parents, first of all. When the mother is stressed, as to a children will always get the stress. Because they have been inside the mother for 10 months, right? They observe everything. So when the mother gets stressed because of that pregnancy, the child will also get that stress. And when it comes to conscious parenting, it is not something you go to university and get it. From the experiences of your past, from your parents, you can learn something. From the recent trend, you can learn something. And there is something always a personal touch which you can give it to your children, right? Add that together, combine it and give it the time, the value, the affection, everything will be surely be a good investment for your children so that when they become big, they will take care of this legacy of parenting. My mother was the best mother. I know how to handle it. Then I'll give you better parenting to the next generation. and to the next generation. So what happens? One small change here, it's going to affect your entire generation. But one bad parenting here is going to affect the entire generation also. So it's upon you. It's in the hands of you. How you deal with children is going to affect your entire generation. Not only the generation, entire community, and the entire nation, and the entire world as well. So I conclude with that. If you're not ready for the parenting, don't go inside it. If you're going to become a parent, become a conscious parent who's giving each and everything in a very conscious way, not an unconscious way that the kid is going in its own. That's what I wish to conclude.
Beautiful, Saran. And just one small pointer, because you have closed this in a beautiful manner.
Yeah.
Whenever there is a small change, so I see it as a ripple effect. And definitely it will not stays with you, with your
Yes.
family, but it's bound to have a ripple effect, and it will definitely circulate, percolate, and penetrate
Yes.
long way in the long run. That's 100% has to happen,
Yes.
be it a good change or be it a bad change.
Yes.
But a
Right.
change will definitely move. It will not stay within the boundaries, but it will definitely move the boundaries.
Even
So
a
that's
one parent is changing their style after seeing this conscious parenting thing. That is what a ripple effect starting of a ripple thing. Then it will surely be catching up on. Yeah, that is what we
definitely.
are doing. Yeah.
And I believe the small effort which you are putting in to start this ripple effect, that is commendable. That
Thank
is
you. Thank you.
definitely,
Yeah.
I should applaud on this particular episode, that you came forward and you start discussing this specific topic on this platform, because definitely it is need of the hour for everyone. The
Yes.
parents who are handling this pressure, and the would be parents who are going to handle this pressure. So
Right.
rather than calling it a pressure, we should call it a beautiful experience. You should have it without any stress, without any
Yes.
pressure, and you should feel lot of satisfaction, a lot of proud that you are building the nation, you are building the community, and you are building the society.
And the
Can you
entire
see how
generation.
the mindset shift changes inside you?
Yes.
So undoubtedly, Saran, I look forward to more such discussions with
Me
you.
too.
But for today, thank you so much for coming to this show and sharing a lot of beautiful insights with us and with all of us.
Yes. Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thanks a lot,
Thank you,
Saran.
Mega,
Any
for
anything?
inviting me. Yeah, thank you, Mega, for inviting me and to share my experiences and my insights with this. And I'm really glad that we have this kind of conversations. It's going to be on the internet where people can see it actually.
Yeah.
And that's a wonderful topic which we discussed. Had a great time with you. Thanks for those
Thank you.
beautiful
Thank
conversations.
you so much.
Yeah, thank you.